Calgary, welcome to the Weekly Dump.
Hey there everyone, welcome to another Hump Day. My name's Kevin, one of your KCCO Calgary admins. Welcome to another edition of the Weekly Dump. I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight and give you a big cheers for making it through to Hump Day. It's almost the end and the weekend is near, so cheers to you. And for those of you that are new in the chat, definitely let us know in the comments below where you're tuning in from so that we can give you a shout out and the other people watching can give you a nice warm welcome on this wonderful cool Hump Day here in Calgary. So cheers and happy 77th show. So what are you drinking today? What's in your cup? So a few things to go through and yeah, thought I'd be into the festive spirit. Have my new Believe shirt on that I got a while ago. And oh yeah, what's this? This is a nice little self-promo here. I have to get out and show off the wonderful light hoodie. It's so comfy. So if you haven't gone, there will be links in the description after the show, so you can go and check out our whole swag collection of our heavy hoodies, our light hoodies, t-shirts, and a bunch of other stuff. So make sure you go and check it out, and it's awesome and nice and warm. So anybody take a look at one of the latest movie trailers that just came out. Where are we here? All the way down here. Who is excited to see this? Have you seen the new Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer? It definitely looks really good in my opinion. They've not just rehashing the old story, but taking it one step further and going in a totally different direction. So I am looking so forward and excited to see when it launches next year. And a lot of the places I've seen online are saying that it's going to be summer 2020. But I actually saw one site that stated July 10th, 2020. So mark your calendars now so that we can all get together and go watch the movie together. I think it's going to be it's going to be really good. Stars Paul Rudd and Wolf from Stranger Things. So I think it's going to be a very, very different story, but yet it's going to be really good. Oh, by the way, did you also know that it was shot in and around the Calgary area? So I'll be putting teaser clips, not clips, but pictures, and posting it to Chive Nation to let them know that, hey, did you know this epic movie that's about to come out was shot right near us? So make sure you check it out, mark your calendars, and next year let's get together and go watch the film. I'm pretty sure we'll be getting some sort of get-together organized for that. Well, as I said in the title, tis the giving season, and what a better way than to give to Chive Charities. When the walls are closing in on you, where do you turn? For over 7 years now, hundreds of recipients have turned to the community of the Misfits, or the community of Misfits at the Chive and Chive Charities for support. In the early days of the Chive, people were in need, were reaching out to the Chive in despair and short on options. Many have been overlooked by other charities or passed over by insurance companies or crucial quality of life enhancing items. So they felt alone, misunderstood, without a community to lean on for the support. These are the underdogs. So just wanted to pass a little video that John posted, I believe it was yesterday, that gives a bit more of a background of who these underdogs are.
It's stories that make us human, but it's stories that bring us all together. And that's why we're all here. The Chive is a community. And why are we such a great community? Because we're bonded by a charitable spirit. When we're reviewing recipients, sometimes you hear a story that stops the room in its tracks. I remember Mark had served in the Navy. He had been a police officer for 18 years. They had 2 teenage kids, and his wife, Bobby, had found out she had stage 4 breast cancer.
She's in a lot of pain. It's her back, her ribs, and her hips, and now it's in her lungs. It's just hard for her to get in and out of the shower. I'm just afraid she's going to fall one day, and the doctor told us that if she ever fell, that it could be she got to walk again because her bones in her back are so weak.
For 23 years, Bobby's been there for me while I was in the military, as I worked long hours as a police officer. In 23 years, we never yelled or screamed at each other. We'd always kiss each other before laying our heads down on the pillow. And every night we told each other, I love you. And every day I pray to God to give me cancer so she can live her life free of pain. Mark and Bobby's is just one of hundreds of stories we receive at Chive Charities every year from people and families who are facing unbelievable tragedy.
So Sophia was a very healthy 2.5-year-old, and she had a cold. But this particular cold, she woke up one day and said, "Mommy, I can't walk."
And the stories we receive range everywhere from medical nightmares to natural disasters.
It got black. The sky just got black, and the smoke was just choking.
We are 100% surrounded by fire. No. Not today.
You know, they was telling me, he was going to die or die shortly after birth, or he's not going to be able to breathe. So I was terrified.
I had just heard the word atrophy. I immediately cried.
You said she'll never walk, she'll never have a normal life, and then you're painting this, no hope picture. It was very scary.
These stories, they're not just cases. These are people.
Am I going to lose him? Is he going to be okay? What are we facing? And nobody could give us any answers on anything.
Rare medical, kind of strictly defined, is a condition, disease, disorder that less than 3% of the general population has ever heard of. And by right of that, they don't get funded well.
We can't get any type of assistance for her. So I was just looking up resources because as she gets older, things get a lot more expensive.
Van's DNA doesn't reproduce or repair correctly, so anything that your body, your immune system kind of warrants off, his cannot do that.
SMA kids, their breathing muscles are just weak. So anytime she would get a cold, she could be 30 days on a ventilator because her lungs collapsed from the secretions due to pneumonia.
For many of these recipients, life is spent in and out of hospitals or driving to doctor's appointments.
She had 120 electrodes put right onto her brain, and she sat there for a week with it in her head while they watched the seizures happen.
Then we would be in ICU 3-4 weeks at a time, and he would bring himself around, and 3 or 4 months we back at where we started.
These are the outliers. They are the underdogs. They're Rosalind with half a brain in Sydney, Ohio.
It's my sleeping machine. I have to wear it always at night because my brain can't tell me to breathe.
She stops breathing about 100 times a night.
She stops breathing 100 times a night.
Without the machine.
They're Amanda Garbatini, who's beaten cancer 5 times.
I'm prone to blood cancers, breast cancer, brain cancer, sarcomas, which are just very prevalent in people who have Lee-Fraumeni syndrome, which is what I have.
These underdogs are like sticks scattered in the wind all over the country.
Cancer is not something that you can fight on your own, because so often we feel like that we're alone in this and that there's no one else that understands what we're going through.
They're fighting to overcome feelings of isolation and hopelessness.
I gave up. I was in that much pain. It was that excruciating that I couldn't physically, in my human body, fight anymore.
I distinctly remember these doctors saying it's time for you to start accepting that this is kind of the beginning of potentially the end. And there were 2 of them there at the time, and I just said, "You're fired," and "You're fired."
And it might not be until all 4 walls are closing in around you that they finally reach out for help. And when they do reach out, they share their stories with us. When we tell their story, the recipient gets to see themselves in a different light altogether. We want them to feel like they're heroes, because they are.
I always say I'm like Nemo, because Nemo has a fin that doesn't work. It's like my hand. That doesn't work.
It doesn't stop you, right?
No, I always said my disability always makes me different.
She never got into that, oh, woe is me, or pity party or anything like that.
And that's where Chive Charities comes in, with our incredible community of donors and doers.
It was almost like this wave of support came, and it was just amazing. It was crazy. It was so good to see, you know, that everyone cared about us and cared about our family and our son. Sorry, I'm just getting a little emotional.
How much does this leg cost?
This is worth $33,000.
That's a $33,000 leg. And Chive Charities was able to help with that?
Chive Charities paid for the leg.
Oh, well done.
Yes.
And then Griffin Stein was the first ADA accessible van that we ever gave away. And now we've given away 115.
I had no idea how much a wheelchair accessible van costs.
Oh, it's
and
crazy.
even when I think about it, it still upsets me because I think there is no way. They've got to do better for people.
As you know, we are the Oprah of ADA accessible vans.
You know what you can't get in the mail?
What?
That we came to give you?
What?
A brand new car.
Boom. Really is helpful to have him drive, and I'm just lost for words.
As soon as we get the van, my daughter said, "Let's take a road trip."
Yay, Gracie!
It's freedom for him, the ability to go more places.
All it takes is one story to set all of this goodwill in motion.
Talk about paying it forward. She went out, got a master's degree in social work, and now she's a licensed master's social worker at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital.
They're serving people and serving people freely. To allow them to do the same thing, to pay it forward, to give them an opportunity to turn people towards hope and towards a completely different life.
And for all the power of our community, we can't stop tragedies from happening. And for some of our recipients, life is short. This year we lost David Costner, Griffin Stein, Little DJ, and Bobby. Dear Chivers, I just wanted to let you know that Bobby passed on September 15th due to complications of lung cancer. I stayed at the hospital for 2 days by her bedside, and I think I told her 1,000 times that I loved her and that I'd miss her hugs. We played Over the Rainbow, and it was the song she wanted to be played during her last breaths. I'd like to say thanks to the Chive Charities donors for their help with the shower they built us. She was in hospice for 5 weeks before her passing, and I would literally give her a shower every 2 days. In her last 3 weeks, she could hardly move or walk, so I had to help her with everything. If you did not give us this shower, it would have made the last few months with her so much more difficult. May God bless you, the Chive and Chive Charities. Thank you. Sometimes you can't stop tragedy, and we can't cure all rare diseases, but what you can do is help someone who is suffering or feeling alone. You can help ease their pain just a little bit and make their lives 10% happier.
Thank you, Chive Charities. I'm gonna dip my banjo, and my band gonna be blue, blue, blue.
Thank you for giving my child her independence and freedom back.
Thank you guys so much for being able to do this for my son and just for all the kids in the military vets that you guys help, and just everyone that does.
I mean, I could cry every time I talk about it because we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. And it means the world to us that you guys are giving people opportunity like this.
I just want to thank everyone at Chive Charities, including the Green Chive Charity members. Really can't thank you enough.
We never would imagine just having such a vehicle that we could transport Kristen. We'll be so thankful for every dime that they put in for
Chive. Like, how exactly do you say thank you? It offers him an opportunity to explore life in a way that I can't do for him.
To see the look on my family's face when they realize Daddy's going to continue to get better. Thank you all far short of what we really want to say.
Thank you, Chive Charities, for the new van.
I mean, what you guys are doing for us is awesome. And it gives us a lot of time to figure out what our long term is going to look like at this point.
Thank you, Chive Charities.
So yeah, any onions in the room? Yeah, it definitely does bring a tear to your eye hearing all those stories. So yeah, all told, Chive Charities has released over 350 recipient stories on the Chive. The common thread among them is that amongst them all is that Chive Nation community came together time and time again to raise $13,468,205 to support these underdogs. The casual reader of the Chive may assume that the $13.5 million in essential life-altering items we have purchased our recipients over the years have come from the sale of t-shirts or ad space on the Chive. However, the truth is that almost all of those dollars come from the incredible monthly donors that give $10, $25, $50, or $100 each month to Chive Charities. They are the real heroes and the engine that makes this all work. And just prior to this, I actually checked the numbers, but in the article it said for over 3 years that engine has stalled and revved repeatedly, anywhere from 2,800 to 2,985 active monthly donors. And as of 2 days ago, they're currently sitting at 2,925. And actually, just prior to the stream, I went online to take a look and got a status update. And 20 hours into this campaign, and they have smashed the 3,000. I think they're at 3,025 monthly active donors. So what I'm about to say is sort of anticlimactic because we've already passed the 3,000, but this is where the race to 3,000 comes in. And what is the race to 3,000? It is a competition of sorts, which each Chive Nation state or province will have the biggest impact and help us reach 3,000 members. And how? You become a Chive Charities member and put your state on the interactive heat map that they have. And the race starts now, and I'll put a link in the description of where you can go and sign up. Like I said, they've reached 3,025 just prior to going live tonight, so right on. But go out and sign up. Let's show them how KCCO Calgary goes above and beyond and supports our neighbors to the south. They do awesome work, so if you can afford the $10 each month, that goes a long way, as John had said in the video. So go and sign up and be a member of the generous community that makes the world 10% happier. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper stream without a shout out to our fellow Chivers and Chivettes out there. Oh, that's awesome. And Amber, thank you for upgrading your membership. That definitely does count, and it will. We did send some messages off to our headquarters, and they're definitely recognizing the Canadian contributions as well. So every little bit helps to help them help the underdogs. So thank you so much for doing that. Really appreciate it. So let's go through some of the other activities that other Chive Nation chapters are doing to make the world 10% happier. We have the Lone Star Chive are having a holiday dinner toy drive benefiting Toys for Tots. And in their description they said, join us for a dinner gathering for the holidays. We are collecting toys for Toys for Tots. Should you want to participate and are not able to attend in person, please reach out to our team of admins by messaging us or commenting, and they'll assist you in the contribution. And thank you very much. What do we have? The toys, they must be new and unwrapped. Toys for Tots prefers not to accept realistic looking weapons and gifts with food. If donated, such items will not be distributed, unfortunately. After the dinner, they can continue the party if you're interested at the Handlebar, and we'll have their Christmas decor up. Let's go light the place up with cheer. And then stay tuned for the Chive swag that they might have for those who bring toys. And it's going to be held at Maudie's at the Triangle, 4600 West Guadalupe Street, Suite B5 in Austin, Texas. So I'll put a link to the Facebook event in the description following the show, so you can go and check it out. Next up, we have the DC Chivers. Or do I have the right one? Green tie. Actually, no, this is the Chive Idaho one. Let's go down there. It's that wonderful time of the year when Chive Idaho and all of its faithful dress to the nines for a good cause. Our green tie formal is at Ironwood Social. We're having a toy drive, Toys for Tots once again, and a fundraiser for Toys for Tots and Operation Santa. Bring 2 toys for admission and you can join us for one hell of a good time. Don't skip on the dress up because we're all bringing our A game. Chive on and we'll see you there. And then once again, I'll put a link down in the description. Then we have DC Chivers are having an ugly sweater toy drive soiree. After a day of wreath laying at various cemeteries in the DMV area, come join Chivers from all over the US and beyond to celebrate the season of giving by putting on your best ugly sweater. Your ticket into the event is to bring a toy that will be donated to Toys for Tots in Washington, D.C. There will be live music and a DJ, ugly sweater contest with prizes, and drink specials that are available. And yeah, once again, I'll put a link to the Facebook event page following the show, so make sure you go and check it out. And if you happen to be in the area of any of those 3 locations, go and support them. And of course, the last thing we have to do, go to our what would you rather. So I have a few questions here, so let me know in the comments what you are thinking is the better of the 2. Number 1, would you rather be forced to dance every time you heard music or be forced to sing along to any song you heard? Which is the better of the 2? Do you want to dance or do you want to sing? Number 2, would you rather move to a new city or town every week or never be able to leave the city or town that you were born in? So one place all your life or move every week to a new place? Number 3, this should be interesting. Would you rather be a reverse centaur or a reverse mermaid or merman? So you'll have a horse's head and a regular body, or a fish's head and a regular body? Let me know down in the comments which one you would actually select. I think those are hilarious, and I'm interested to see how your mind works for that. So, yeah, so that brings me to the end of today's news update. Wanted to share that video with you because it's very touching. It is the giving season, and if you're able to donate to Chive Charities, I'll have a link on the registration so you can become a monthly donor, or if you are already, maybe consider upgrading like Amber just did. So cool, thanks for doing that, Amber, really appreciate it. So having said that, we will see you next week with working on a little bit of a year-end wrap-up, as well as a little surprise as well. So just want to say thanks for joining tonight, and for those watching the replay, make sure you leave your comments down below so that I can give you a shout out on the next one. So cheers, everyone. Cheers. Cheers. Chive on. See you next week. Have a good one. Cheers.